Hello, my loves. Mum's in the hot seat today. She's been destroying a couple of her nails. She has picked, and chewed. How yummy! So, this hand, however, has grown loads. So I'm not quite sure. So I am just removing her previous gel polish with a medium grit e-file bit, and I think it was only on about 15,000 RPM because I forgot to turn it up a bit higher, so it took a bit longer, but it was nice and gentle. And then under that gel polish she has Madame Glam's Polygel. I couldn't think of the word then. So I'm just going to debulk that slightly. As you can see, her nails have gone from little nubbies to nice and long now, and we're literally just doing overlays apart from the two that I have to fix. Now I will, while you're watching this e-filing process, because it's quite satisfying, I'm just going to let you know that throughout October Madame Glam are supporting survivingbreastcancer.org, and they have a whole collection called Think Pink, and for every bottle of gel sold from that collection they will donate $1 to survivingbreastcancer.org. So if you're thinking of ordering, please support during October. I will add the link in the description box along with the discount code. So I've removed all the previous product. There's still a thin layer of polygel because it's just an infill, so it doesn't matter. And I'm just using the Alina Crystals Cuticle Pusher, which is double-ended. It's got a wider end which you can use on toes and thumbs, and then a more narrow end for little fingers. I'm just going to push Mum's cuticles back. The footage sometimes jumps from one hand to the other because I want to show you how I'm going to rebuild the nails she has nibbled on, whilst also showing you the lovely nails she's grown. Some of her non-living tissue can be quite hard. It grows quite thick, and that's where for years she picked and chewed and it damaged the nails. I don't know if you remember how bad the index fingers used to be. They were pretty horrific. So we're getting there. I'm going to use the cuticle scraping tool now, and I'm just removing if there's any like still stuck down that I couldn't get with pushing the cuticles back. I'm just sort of lifting it a little bit more. As you can see, if there's nothing there, it won't bring anything up, so it's not sharp enough to do any damage. But equally, it does help remove some of it if it's lingering. I still go in with an e-file anyway. Just, I don't know, I feel like I add more and more steps half the time, but it's like perfect prep really does stop lifting, so I take my time on it. So I'm just going to do that, as you can see, just nipping over a little bit here and there. I'm then going in on the other hand and doing the same, which is highly interesting. Sorry, I take the mickey because I actually love watching other people do full sets of nails. I love watching, and yet when I'm editing my own video I'm like, oh god, really? Hurry up. But you know, each to their own. If you get bored with the prep bit, you can always fast forward. But I think on a set like this, really, the prep is the most essential part. There's no exquisitely unique design, none of that. It is all about proper prep. We don't want any lifting, because if Mum gets the slightest bit of lifting or movement, she'll chew it. Also, with the two nails that she did pick and pull and bite, that was because she caught them, and then they became slightly weakened, and she'll just hone in on that like a bloodhound. Anyway, I'll let you watch this bit and then I'll be back. So then in with the e-file to do some more work on the cuticle area. Obviously I'll work in forward first and go from the centre to the left of the nail, and then I'll work in reverse and go from the centre to the right. Switching it up a bit to my new favourite bits and doing exactly the same motion, nice and gently. Oh, let's talk Halloween. I'm sort of, I don't know whether it's my age, but I'm stepping a bit back from like crazy Halloween nails, although I love the designs. Yeah, I haven't felt as inspired this year. I don't know. I do have a little idea in my head, and if I get time, I will do it. But if there's anything you particularly were hoping somebody would do or that you'd like me to do, just let me know, and I'll figure that out for you. As you can see, the nail prep is going swimmingly well. Nice and gentle. No high RPMs on this at all. I think we were just over 10,000. And then, yeah, once I've finished with that, I'll go in with my Alina Cuticle nippers, which are half price. I keep banging on, but for new people, they don't know. If you go onto alinacrystals.com, all the nail products are half price at the moment, which is nice. And yeah, we'll just figure it out. We'll go from one hand to the next. Yeah, that's why it looks a bit weird. I'm going from one hand to the next. This is sort of like real time, actually working on a person who has two hands. I get so used to just doing a design on tips or doing like one of my hands on camera, but actually no, generally you work on two hands. There we go. So that's that bit done. I use my unicorn dusty brush to get rid of all the dust. They're nice and kind of magnetic. They sort of suck in that dust, it feels like. And then in with the nippers, just any bits that were hanging, which she didn't have an awful lot. I remember back when there used to be so much, and it's now toned right down, and we only have the odd bit here and there to knit, which is just sort of hanging. Once that's all done, I'm going to prep the new regrowth area with a 180 grit file, and while I'm there I'll just buff over the nail surface as well, nice and gently. I'm not applying pressure here, it's very gentle, and I'm just going to tidy up the length and shape so that there's less work for me to do later on. I then asked Mum to wash her hands, and once she'd done that, I am going to just dehydrate quickly so that all that regrowth area is nice and ready. And then we're going in with Madame Glam's base coat, and I'm working a nice thin layer into the nail. As you can see, I still do that little scrub-a-dub-dub motion so that you've got that kind of slightly roughed up nail surface, and you want that gel to stick to it so it becomes like a piece of Velcro that's then going to adhere to the next product. This is only a 30-second cure on this gel, so I'll just do a very thin layer on each nail, and then we'll pop it in the lamp for 30 seconds. This is the polygel I'm using, Madame Glam's Ice Blossom, which is clear. I'll show you how I'm going to build out this pinky. Now there's no free edge, and I'm not going to attach a sculpting form because it's just a nightmare on my mum. So I'm going to just pat with my polygel brush. It's got some isopropyl alcohol on it to help it glide, and I'm gradually going to extend the free edge. Bit by bit. It takes a little bit of playing, but it won't fall off, it won't go sloppy. With the polygel I use, it works really, really well. I don't know about other brands, whether they're the same consistency or not. I assume they are, but I don't know. So I'm just going to tell you what I use and how it works. And as you can see, I'm starting to bring that free edge out. Now you've got to do it like a little bit at a time, and if it gets too heavy, it will start to sort of thicken up below, so you need to make sure you tuck that brush under so it's not attaching to the skin or anything. But as you can see, I'm playing with it quite a lot, and once I'm happy, I'll just make sure it's cured. So I'm literally just making sure it's not attached at the bottom there, and I'm making sure I've got enough length so that I can file it back and give it a nice shape. And then once I'm happy with that, I am going to pop that straight in the lamp. Okay, on to the next nail. Obviously this is just an infill really, so I'm just going to tap that bead in at the cuticle, making sure that I use the bristles of the brush like a barrier so we don't flood the cuticle with product. And then I'll just feather it down the nail, getting really thin towards the free edge because that's got existing product, we don't need any more. I'm putting in a slight apex but nothing huge. There we are. And I'll cure these as I go, one at a time, because Mum can be a little bit clumsy. So it's just easier for me if I do that, and we'll do the same on each nail. Just a quick lesson in why we apply isopropyl alcohol. This is what happens if you don't. Yeah, I forgot. So isopropyl alcohol helps your brush glide with the polygel rather than smoosh into the polygel. Now this thumbnail is very short, so I'm going to do this in 3 steps. First, I'm going to slightly extend the free edge, a teeny tiny weeny bit, right? Just very, very slightly. My bead doesn't even go all the way back to the cuticle. I started in the middle of the nail. Slight extension there. Tucking that brush under to make sure it doesn't stick to the skin. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to go straight in and cure that first bead. I don't want to go too far too soon, right? So it's in the lamp. Next bead I'm attaching at the back of the nail to build a slight apex, tucking it in at the cuticle. And then I'll feather the front of that bead into the previous bead. And I'll give that one a cure for 30 seconds. Then I'm going to apply a bead at the tip of the nail. I'm going to push it through, flatten it down, and then I'll blend it back. But I'm basically extending the extension that I just did. So I'm doing it in phases because it's a wide nail, you need a bigger bead, and I just didn't want to overload it and then lose the shape. So it's a lot easier if I do it this way, a lot less work. There we are. Once I'm happy, in the lamp she goes. I'm still faffing, but you know, you get the gist. There. Right. On the other hand, it was very, very simple. So I've sped it up a bit. I am just going to infill every single nail. And it's really, really, really straightforward because there's no damage to these ones. So I'll let you watch this. Can't believe how long Mum's thumbnails got. I'm just going to take the length down a little bit and file it back into the shape that she likes, which natural, shall we call it? It's not a squoval, it's not an almond, it's not completely rounded, it's a natural type shape. Still the same routine as if I was filing any nail enhancements. So I do sidewall, free edge, cuticle, body of the nail. Always the same. And yeah. It's very lovely to file Polygel. It's ever so soft. So it's a beautiful file. You don't have to put a lot of work into it. So that saves your shoulders, your neck, your hand. There we are. And do the same. I don't think I filmed all of the nails filing, if I remember rightly. I think I just filmed a couple and then got on with the rest of it. So I'll let you watch this bit. Well, obviously I lied because I'm still filing, so I don't know why I thought I only filed 2, but I'm still filing. I have sped it up, however, so you don't have to watch it for too long. But it is a good lesson in repeating the same steps with each nail. It's very important. And yeah, as you can see, even though I've only sped it up a tiny bit, it's just a very quick file. It doesn't need a lot of work, Polygel, because it's soft. There we are. Oh, look at me checking the side there. A little bit that I didn't like the look of. Yeah, get rid of that. Get rid of it. Cheeky devil. Right, I now will let you continue watching. I'll be back in a second. So this is a beautiful pink colour we're using. It is called Very Berry. That's what I'm using on Mum today. Look how gorgeous this shade is. Don't forget, Think Pink collection on Madame Glam's website. $1 is donated for every bottle purchased. So it's a very good cause. Look at the coverage. Hello, colourful. Oh, it's just gorgeous. I always use a detailer brush around the cuticles and the sidewalls just to make sure I've got it nice and neat. Now, you may want to stress yourself out nudging a big brush around a small area. I don't want to, so I do it this way. It's just what I do. And I like it. It allows me to have a little bit more control. I will cure every nail individually. Like I said, Mum can be a little bit accident prone. Sometimes she talks with her hands really badly and forgets I'm doing her nails and just sort of waves her hands around. And she's having the same colour on every nail. It's all very beautiful. Very, very good coverage. I do like these gels for their quality of coverage. It's just second to none. I love it a lot. Even though you don't really need a second coat though, I always do it because I believe it adds to the longevity and the strength. Going in with the second coat on all. I don't use my detailer brush for the second coat. I just go through the main body of the nail. I find it a lot easier second time round just to use my brush, a bigger brush. Straight in. Look at that gorgeous colour. Oh my goodness. I don't really wear pink, but I love it. It's really rich. I think it's probably because it's on the darker side, that's why I like it. Darker, deeper. It's a deeper pink. It's not dark really, is it? Let's be fair. But it is deep and rich. Berrylicious. It's actually very berry, but it made me think of Berrylicious. Gorgeous. 30-second cure. And then in with Madam Glam's No Wipe top coat, which will stay shiny until you take it off. Let's just, you know, put it out there. It's bloody shiny. That's all it is. That's what it does. And that has a 30-second cure as well. See her fidgeting? She's fidgeting. But you can spot the fidget, can't you? Yeah, she doesn't stop. She's like a seat wriggler, my mother. There we are. Gorgeous bit of top coat. When they've had a 30-second cure, I then let the hands just cool down a little bit. Not that they're boiling hot, but I want to apply cuticle oil and I don't want to dull the shine on the nail. So once they've cooled down a bit, I apply cuticle oil and then I will just wipe over the nail surface with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. And here we have the finished set. So I hope you like this video. Don't forget, if you're going to support Madam Glam's Think Pink campaign this month, then head on over and follow the link in my description box and I'll see you in my next video. Tally bye!